Welcome to Fuel. Fuel stands for Finance, Unity, Empowerment, Legacy. Join us today as Mac, Dr. Jackie, and Dennis share from the fueling theme, Financial Goal Setting is Exercise. Enjoy. Well, now, here we are once again, Dr. Jackie looking absolutely fabulous. Of course, I too am looking rather dapper. And then we just carry the other guy because,
I'm just regular.
yeah.
I'm regular and he's irregular.
Okay, so everybody,
You heard him admit it.
God.
So wait a minute, what did you say, Dr. Jackie?
I said, here we are, back live. Nothing has changed.
Nothing has
We're all
changed.
good buds.
Oh my goodness.
Regular, irregular, and extraordinary.
Oh, did you hear that?
All right.
How are we categorizing this, Dr. Jackie? Like, who's who?
Oh, I did. Extraordinary.
I'm regular.
And he's regular.
You're
and
irregular.
He said you were irregular.
Would you say extraordinary? Well, he could be outstanding if he like.
Well, I'm just going to say for the record, I do not approve this content at all.
But 9 out of 10 dentists do agree.
Oh, we're sharp.
Do you remember when they used to do the cigarette commercials and they say doctors say that cigarette smoking is good for you?
Yeah.
You remember that? I was looking at one of them old Beverly Hillbillies or something, and they did one of them smoking commercials. Like, God, I remember that.
And the Surgeon General.
Surgeon General, yeah.
That's right.
They trying to kill us. Are they trying to kill us or what? Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? I was thinking about something. So,
yay.
We started this. Well, this is before Extraordinary entered the link here, but we were talking about exercise and stuff like that. And you know how we do here. We might take any subject and then somehow try to fit that into fuel. And I was wondering, what would we say to someone in reference to exercise as it relates to what we talk about?
Setting goals.
Okay.
Doing something on a regular pattern.
Yeah, you don't exercise just to exercise. You set a goal. A lot of people in a month from now, or 2 months from now, will set a goal on the 1st of January that they already know they're going to break on the 25th of December.
Right.
But the whole point is that they set goals. So I believe in setting I hate using the word realistic, but I believe in setting goals that are quickly attainable, medium attainable, and long range attainable. You know, So with exercise, I ride my bike. And when I bought the bike, I could barely do 1 mile before I had to get off and go lay down for 2 days. And then I worked my way slowly up to 20 miles every other day. And yesterday I did 30 miles, not counting the time it took me to walk to my car, which was a walk of tears. But that 30 miles was the hardest thing. It let me know that I was not in shape. So let me know that I need to set higher goals.
Yeah.
Because I thought doing 20 miles every other day, a nice medium goal would prepare me for anything. But it didn't prepare me for 30 miles. It just prepared me for 20 miles a day.
So Dennis, I don't know with what regularity you were biking. But another thing that is related to exercise is the consistency or the regularity of doing it. And the one thing that I hear people say is, I can do it for months, and then if I have a break of 2 days or 2 weeks, it's so hard to get back to. And so I don't know if you had a break in yours, but please add that to your thoughts of maybe you would have been prepared for 30 if you had been more regular. And maybe we would be prepared for whatever's happening in our financial life today if we had set goals and been more regular with whatever that goal, sticking to whatever that goal was, rather it was a short one or a long goal, but to stick to it.
Well, your body is an amazing machine. And, when you talk about setting goals and consistency, it's like, you ever have a financial major, well, not even major, a minor financial issue. You lost $20 in your house. You would tear that house up until you found or gave up on that $20.
Right.
And, but, it's there. You go in the bathroom, you go in the basement if you have one, you go in all the bedrooms if you have them, whatever you have, you go there 10 times. Because your brain will tell you that it's there and it will motivate you to keep on looking. So when you set a goal, if you trick yourself correctly, you can motivate yourself to keep on pushing to your goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. I was thinking about the old school methods of, having designated places in your home where you actually post your goals, or you post affirmations, things that keep you inspired, things that keep you motivated. Because it is easy, like to Dr. Jackie's point, it's easy. You can, sometimes get that thing going, and then you have one little setback, and then you kind of stay back and don't get back and on the train and ride that thing. But I found that kind of like that principle of that 21 day, just trying to do things consistently until it becomes a habit. That has a lot of validity to it. And so when it comes to physical exercise as well as financial exercise, those are some of the principles that I'm personally putting into place. So like what Dennis said, he's talked about he could barely do that mile. So I'm kind of at that point right now from a physical perspective. So I'm doing exercises that are helping my back, which I have a chronic back situation going on. And so I've had to ease into that thing in order to be able to get relief and to avoid the surgeons, if at all possible. And it's the same thing with the financial stuff. It's like trying to like take a moment each day to read something about finance, something that will encourage saving or protection, or seeing what's going on out there. Those are kind of the ways that I kind of flex my muscles and work out, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I guess the strangest thing is how easy it is to fall off of your plan.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I did the stickers on the wall. I had stickers all around my house, but I have a grandbaby. And I'll say, where'd you get that blue piece of paper? That's one goal that will no longer be achieved. So, but it doesn't take much. Like I was talking to Dr. Jackie yesterday, I believe, and I was just, having a good conversation. My phone rings. Okay. that's it for that goal. Because now somebody else wants me to do something that, my plan was, I'm gonna go ride my bike in the morning. Okay, can't go riding in the morning. I'll ride in the afternoon. So it's very easy to fall off if you are in the life where we have family members, children, and whatever. And a lot of times people don't think that people look at me, Mac, and they say, well, you're retired. You have plenty of time. No, I plan things every now and again. I don't plan things often, but every now and again I do. But they don't care. They just call. So I'm just saying that to say it with financial goals is just as easy. It's probably easier. I mean, have you ever decided you wanted to go? I'm going to the grocery store, and you get to your car and you got a flat tire?
Yeah.
That will turn you backwards, or your car makes a funny sound, or you get to the grocery store and you left your wallet home. All these things conspire to put blockades in your way.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing is, how do you get back on track? Once you set a goal, I said, I do the 21-day goal things all the time. They turn into 30 days, and they turn into 40 days. So I call this a 100-day goal now. Sooner or later, I'll get 21 days straight.
And so we call that habit, beginning a habit of, and those of you who have followed us for a little while will know that we talk a lot about saving. Dennis often mentions the saving time of plenty for time of famine, because famine will come. And I remember seeing an article about a gentleman from Louisiana who saved pennies whenever he found it. He looked at the pennies as an incentive and motivation from God. And he started putting pennies in those big gallon jugs, that you see water in. And he did this, wait, and listen for this, for 45 years. Whenever he found a penny, it got to the point where when he was shopping, he would try to get change of pennies. He wouldn't spend pennies. I have a tendency to want to give that when it's 61 cents, give the 1 cent versus getting pennies back. Well, he would get the pennies back, put it in his jug. He had 15 5-gallon plastic water jugs full of pennies. And after 45 years, he decided to cash it in. So, gentlemen, if you haven't seen the article, I'm going to give you the opportunity to take a guess. How much do you think he had saved? He had consistently saved these pennies. Sometimes it was 1, sometimes it was 4, over 45 years. Take a guess, Mac, Dennis.
Oh, all right. I'll be brave. 50,000.
50,000. Okay, Dennis.
2,200.
2,200. Okay, so we got
Wow.
a high. So it was
a
more
lot of pennies to make a dollar.
It was more than 22, and it was very much less than 50,000. But here's what he had: $5,136.14.
Okay.
And again, it was not because he was trying to save for the money, but just because he started getting his own motivation to continue saving pennies. But what we talk about is the mindset of saving. Get in the habit of saving. It doesn't have to be a bunch of money. It just needs to be some money. So if yours happen to be pennies, or you hear people say every day, whatever change I have in my pocket, I put in the bucket. What has happened for society that has changed that mindset is we don't spend dollars in cash. We spend it on cards, and we spend it through ATM services and through checking, so that individuals don't actually have the cash in their pockets to do it, but it's still setting up a mindset of saving. And so,
That's also because cashiers don't know how to count anymore.
well, that is true. That is true. How many times have you tripped up one of these young ones and you say, I need my change, and they look at you like, uh-oh, change? Well, the machine is broken, they say.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the dumbing of America.
Mhm.
But it does make it easier to spend more than you have, though.
It does. And so therefore we need to make it a habit, a mindset of saving, so that you and every holiday season, every Christmas time, you hear people say, take cash out and only spend what cash you say you can afford for that time, because we all will go over price for that one thing, for that grandbaby of yours, and for those grandchildren of yours, and my nieces and nephews, and my etc., because we want that one other thing.
I've learned a valuable lesson with my grandbaby. Give her a box, some string, and some cups, and she will have a lemonade stand, a spaceship, and a tank. Her imagination is unbelievable. So I get to save a lot of money that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what are we going to do? How do we come up with a rule for saving or setting goals or whatever, because saving by itself is a tough thing, because if you have $100 and you put it in the bank and you're getting 0.003% interest, that 100 is not going to turn into 200 for what, 7,000 years or something crazy. I forgot the exact number, but I know you take the 72 divided by 0.003, and that'll give you how long it's going to take to double that money. So saving has to coincide with some kind of growth plan.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you put it in your 401k, I'm not a fan of 401ks, but sometimes people just need to be forced to save.
Right, and I think that's where a wise person would have to seek out a financial professional. If you're really talking about doing something other than, like you said, just going to the savings account where you'll never see the return on investment in your lifetime. So that's the step. I guess honestly, Dennis, is to realize that you don't know what you're doing, and you have to have that honest moment with yourself that, hey, I've been doing XYZ for XYZ amount of years, and I'm still in the same place, or I'm going backwards. So you got to get to that point, kind of like someone in addiction. You got to hit your rock bottom, whatever that is.
Gotcha.
And then you will take the steps. You'll be motivated to take the steps. Some people just get to a point, I'm just tired of being poor. I'm tired of having to work 2-3 jobs. I'm tired of, just having enough or not having enough to make the ends meet. And they just say they got to do something different, and you got to come out of what you know and bring in people that know what you don't know in order to help you out. So I think that honest assessment is really first step, to just sit down and say, look, where am I really? Okay. And, do the math, it's so easy. Take a sheet of paper, put down their assets, liabilities, and list them out. And, most people are going to have liabilities that outweigh the assets. And that's going to tell you where you are. And then if you don't know how to get out of that, then, hey, you got me, you got Dennis, you got Dr. Jackie, or you have other qualified people that can, sit down and talk with you and, set a plan, a real plan, which is part of your exercise. Because nobody just goes out there in physical fitness and just does a couple of push-ups. They usually create a workout plan. What are we trying to build? Are we building our quads, our abs? What are we doing? Back exercises? Are we, what are we focusing on? And put a plan together to meet your need. You can look at it as, what's my body shape? What's the best exercises for my body shape? And just turn that on the financial side. Okay, this is where I'm at, and what's the best method in order for me to be able to correct whatever's going on. That's the beginning.
So we have exercise goal. We have setting up something, consistency, and writing down a plan. Sounds like things we've talked about before, as to write down how much you're bringing in, write down how much you're putting out, write down your plan so that you understand where you are, write down how you're going to get there.
Yeah,
Combination.
I think, Dr. Jackie, I think what it is that, we end up always getting back to the place where we started, which is, kind of saying what we've always said. But I think that each time we do one of these programs, it's just giving another perspective of how you can get to that place. So everybody won't look at it from the point of view of exercise. Maybe it's another avenue. Either way, as we continue to have these conversations, somehow we can trigger our audience that they have to apply something in order to get to the place where they can really begin to make a difference, not only for their lives today, but for the financial future of generations to come.
I guess that would start with understanding money. What is money for?
Yeah.
Like I said one time before that the Amazon man and me have become great friends because my daughter orders so much stuff. Okay, I'm not gonna blame it all on her, but Amazon man comes to my house every day. And, I'm like, okay, what is your plan? How much of this stuff do you really need? And, I'm guilty of it too. I'm a gearhead or gadget head or whatever you want to call it. I love gadgets. And, I had to stay away from the magazines. I like building things. I like taking things apart. And there's only but so many toilets you can fix in your house. So for me, I like to keep busy. And that's why, I read a lot. I read a lot about finance, and I get involved in companies who are geared towards financial education. One, because using a metaphor, hope I said that right, I'm not a person that's good at decluttering. I can always justify why I need to keep some of the gadgets that I've purchased over the years. But someone with a different eye, like if Matt came in, he could say, all right, throw this away. And he has no emotional attachment to it. So he can get it done. Where me, I'm like, yes, but I bought that with my first dollar. And sometimes you gotta, that emotional attachment makes it harder for us to get to a goal. Like I said, for me, I count those miles. Man, 20 miles, I've done something. 30 miles, I've really done something. 40 miles, there's always an extra goal. I think Jackie was telling us somebody she knew was going to do 100 miles. Man, 100 miles, I'm going to get 5 gallons of gas. And I'll meet you at the finish line. But it's a goal,
Yeah.
So following that goal, staying on track, sometimes requires somebody else on your corner, somebody else who can use a non-emotional blind eye to help you get past those needs and wants. Want is we can always take our wants and make them sound like needs. But if I told Mac, man, I need another drum set, he's gonna say, no, that's a want. You already got 3. I know, but I don't have blue.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes it takes another person that can make it a little easier on you to stay on goals. Very few people who exercise don't have a coach, and that's because he can look at, you're spending way too much on coffee. You're spending $5 a day. $5 a day is $150 a month. That's more than $1,875 a year. We're talking money now, where you find a good vehicle paying you 10% a year or whatever. You could turn that 1,800 into 21 something, excuse me. My math is slowing down in my young age. But eventually your play money can become your retirement money or your vacation money, or however you want to divvy it up. So I think it's about using other people or other means to help reinforce your goal setting and your goal achievements.
Yeah, I was thinking, even as you were talking, that hey, look at the 3 of us. We're always bouncing things off of each other, because when one is in crisis, the other normally is detached from the situation and can just be honest and real about it. I can't tell you in particular, Dr. Jackie, how much Mr. Sawyer here has to put me in my place when I'm out of order and moving too fast on doing things. But I appreciate it, because to me, that's true friendship. Hey, look, you need to follow the plan. And if I'm not following the plan, then I need to have that accountability person to say, hey, you need to, get that thing straight. And I think that everybody, cannot be on an island all by themselves. When you can create a network, and that might take some time for people, but if you can create a network of people that you can trust, and you can actually bounce ideas off of. Now, for those that are struggling with their finances, you don't make that network someone who's struggling with like you are. Okay, you get somebody that's already dealt with that stuff and knows, how to navigate those areas. Someone smarter than you, that can really guide you. And then on the other side of that, you have to be open enough to do something that may not be comfortable for you, which is actually following orders and just doing it.
That's interesting, but I just got to say this. I don't think I look like Chris Tucker.
Okay.
What?
We don't know where he's going, but he's going to get there. What are you talking about?
Okay, I'm gonna be your accountability buddy. And what?
See, that's the thing. I was talking to someone the other day about, we were actually talking about goals like we're talking about now, but in a different way. It was more like you set goals, but you got family members. And my phone calls were my family members. And I don't look like Chris Tucker. I'm not rich.
Gotcha.
You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? And even if I was Chris Tucker, I would say, well, when I was telling you to stop spending money, you said mind my own business. And now you're calling me and asking me for money. I'm kind of thinking I should be minding my own business. So my last phone call was from a family member in California. And, you know, when you have family members that you haven't talked to in 30, 40 years, and then they call you and you know it's not to see how you're doing. And they talk to you like they really called to see how you're doing. Hey, cousin Dennis, what's up? You know, don't you think that family members should help out another family member in need? I said, yes, I do. I actually do. Yeah. What you need? No, 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 not for me. Oh, okay. All right. Uh, Sometimes, we need just a place to stay. Well, who are you talking about? We've only got like 2 cousins in California. Not that cousin, the other one. The other one is you. So anyway, all I'm talking about really is that, as much as we try to help people, the 3 of us, there's a whole community trying to help people. You really can't help somebody who's not really interested in helping themselves. Excuse me. And I find that, like I tell my daughter all the time, say, I've been teaching finance for 20 years. How can you be in financial trouble? I straightened out your finances 2 or 3 times already. And how you keep getting back in trouble? Well, because you're there. You're there to catch me when I fall. I said, that's true. But you got to plan for the day when I'm not there, not the day that I am there. I said, finance is about the trials and tribulations, that time of famine that Dr. Jackie was talking about earlier. We don't save money because things are always going to be good. We save money because one day they might not be good. Things just happen. If you have a car, if you have an elderly parent, all of us have suffered the malady of losing our parents. My dad's going to be around all the time because he thinks he's 27. But it's tough, and these things you cannot plan for, but they're going to happen. So, not to bring a downer to the conversation, but look at the good things that you might want. I want a Tesla. I ordered a Tesla. I haven't figured out how I'm going to pay for the Tesla, but it will be paid for. And that's because I put it far enough into the future that my brain will make the connection to figure out how to save to get it if they just keep the prices the same. Keep changing the prices, and I had to reevaluate. But that doesn't mean, dear cousin, no, let me stop. I help them any way I can, but I'm not going to put myself in jeopardy to help anybody. Sorry, I've done that before millions of times. I know Mac is good at saying things like, you don't do things for immediate benefit, and that's true. You don't do things to get something back, but when you're not getting nothing back, it's harder to do them.
Well, what's even more so troubling is putting out energy, and even more energy than the folks that are doing the asking. And that is the problem. and I've been in that situation too many times. I blame myself for that. But now with wiser eyes and definitely more fortitude, I don't do that any longer. most of the time, if it's a situation where there's money to be given, I usually give it with the expectation that there will not be a return. But if the person who's the recipient actually does what they're supposed to do with it and actually helps someone else along, then I still feel like it's money well spent.
Oh
It,
yeah.
it's those situations like not to throw your family under the bus, but if you keep regurgitating the same thing, you bail out of a bad financial situation just to get back into another bad one, just to be saved again and again and again, and you just keep going back. That's an issue. And I don't fund those anymore. That
Yeah.
those
You
are
always have a opportunity to fall on bad times. I mean,
yeah.
I can count all mine, back in, I can't remember now, 2001, 2008, 2014, 2020, when that 19 thing hit,
Yes.
when finances, the income, let's say, well, actually the 21, I was okay, but the real estate, the stock market, way back when I lost my job, way back when I quit a job, and you saw your finances tumble. And I'm like, wow, I've got to do something different. And that's what I came to, Mac. I got to
Yeah.
do something different, because every time some calamity hits, I am like at the border of losing everything.
That's how it is.
And it's like, well, it doesn't matter whether the calamity is my personal calamity, the calamity of the country, or what our friends and family. It affects each one of us brilliantly. Excuse me. So that's why we spend so much time trying to teach people about money, how money works, how to plan for those times of famine, because famine surely will come. It might not look like famine, but I don't know how true this is, but I heard yesterday that we only had a 3-day supply of diesel. And if those 3 days go by with no replenishment, then the trucks won't drive. They won't be to deliver food. And if they don't deliver food, supermarkets only hold a week's worth of food. And a week's worth of food, not for everybody, just for whoever gets there first.
Mhm.
And and then you're like, well, how big is my refrigerator? Well, forget your refrigerator. Power plants run on fuel sometimes. They used to run on coal. Now they run on natural gas or whatever they run on in your locale. But how you gonna keep your food frozen if you don't have electricity? It's something that they said in The Matrix. How are you gonna speak if you don't have a mouth? I think I messed it up. And Keanu was like, what are you talking about? I have a mouth. Well, without these basic elements, what are we going to do? So that's a time of famine. And they keep telling us it's coming. And we don't believe them, because every day you go to Costco, they got 1 million cookies, a whole lot of marshmallows, and plenty of potato chips. But the food, the staples, whatever they are these days, because I know it has changed a little bit, but let's say your proteins don't come from around the corner. They come from far away, and they need a truck to get it to you. What are we going to do if you don't plan something? One of my buddies, he just bought a big old ice chest, and he buys half a cow, half a goat, half a sheep. And I was amazed when he opened up his freezer. I'm like, wow, I never thought about doing anything like that.
Mhm.
That ain't about money. That's about being prepared for
Absolutely.
food, right? That's the food shortage. How are you going to prepare for the diesel shortage? Saudi Arabia is talking about hiking up the price of crude oil. And then Saudi Arabia don't realize that the United States is protecting them from Iran and Iraq. And we are all connected. The war in Russia affects everyone, but all these little Debbie Downer moments is really just to get you out of buying that gold tooth.
Okay.
Don't buy those brand new shoes for your car. Stock up, be prepared. Unfortunately, it was Dave Chappelle. I think he said, I realized that when I was buying all this food and everything, that all I was doing was getting food ready for the next guy that came around. It was Bill Burr.
Okay.
Bill Burr wants a gun. He said, if you don't know how to fight, they're gonna just come take your food. But anyway, so on our level, we can take care of having the funds to buy things. The next level is buying those things and get them in a place where you can store them so you can have them. And the next level is so you can protect that food.
Yeah. But it all comes back to where we started.
Yes.
Having a plan.
Having a plan.
And you cannot start any exercise program without a legit plan, and then sticking to that plan, and at times adjusting that plan to make things work for you and to make things work for future generations.
I think that wraps us up for today, guys.
Sounds good. Because we getting deep and sad. It's tough to wake up to the news if you listen to the news. I try my best not to, but my friends called me and said, did you hear the news? I said, if I wanted to hear it, I would have listened to it myself. I'm trying to figure out how to plant some black-eyed Susans in my backyard. And can you eat them? So anyway, yes, Jack, I think it's a good place. You concur, Mac?
Absolutely.
Knife.
Absolutely.
And next week we'll talk about love.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so bye you all.
Goodbye, everybody.
I do not look like Chris Tucker.
Bye. Have a good one.
Thank you for joining us today. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Fueling Future Generations and reach out to us at fuelingfuturegenerations2020@gmail.com. Have a great day.